I'm back at project house number 3, and today I'm going to work on getting some of the finishing touches done to the bathroom. It's coming along very nicely. I'm going to work on getting this light fixture fixed out, updating some more of the electrical, and then putting some baseboards up. After that, I'll move on to get the trim kit on the shower, and that should wrap this up and have it looking pretty good and be pretty functional. I'm going to start here by removing the old light. You can see I had that tester there to make sure the power is off, and it was completely dead. So once I got that old light out of there, I started removing the old bracket, and then I cleaned up around it. I wanted to make sure it's nice and clean before I started to get this new bracket mounted in there. The old bracket was kind of square and big. This new one is round. I'm just using the tape measure to make sure I got it equal distance off the wall, everything as straight as I can, because I want to line up the best I can with the vanity below. Now I'm just getting it wired up, getting the wire nuts on, putting a little bit of electrical tape on each one just to be safe, and then getting it screwed up and seeing how it's looking. This light is up. I'm going to have to take it back down because I had this cut out square. So I'm going to need to patch a couple of these holes, and also this one glass beam is broken. But there you can see that turned on. It was the third one, and when I was getting it out, it sounded like glass was broken. So I left it packaged up, but I don't know if you can hear that. It's definitely broken. So I'm going to take that back to Lowe's, and hopefully they will swap me out with the correct piece of glass. That's my hope. Otherwise, I'm going to have to take this all back down. It's this Allen and Roth light from Lowe's. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. I'm going to use some of this Easy Sand 5. It's a hot mud quick setting. I'm going to get that and just put it on around in those gaps. Then once that's in, I'm just going to fill it in so it's round around there and you don't see holes when it's all said and done. Then once that dried in, a little bit of sanding, and then this light fixture is ready to be put back up. Here is a close-up of that patch that I just did. It's all sanded, ready to be painted now. You can see how it was a square before, and now it's just filled in, so it's a nice round circle. Then I'm just going to do a little bit of touch-up paint, get this painted good to go. And then once that's dry enough, I'm going to go ahead and put the light fixture, reinstall it, and get it all good to go. And Lowe's did replace that bulb for me, or that glass thing, so I was very thankful for that. Now I'm going to start putting it on the baseboards. I'm going to use this Milwaukee trim nailer. It's a battery one, so you don't have to have an air compressor. Milwaukee's not sponsoring me, but it's a great nailer. Maybe they want to sponsor me one day. But let's get into it. I'm going to start in this corner by the vanity. I took the vanity out to make it a little bit easier to get my nail gun in there. It's only a few inches. Really, that's probably the only way to do this. Then I just got all cleaned up, caulked in, then put the vanity back in place. Now that the vanity's back in place, I can get started working from the other side. And I'm just going to go around this whole bathroom putting the baseboard up. So right here I measured, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to cut this end, put it against the wall, and live mark it. Then I'm going to be able to get a perfect cut without dealing with the tape measure. So I put it up against the wall, put a mark on the back, and this worked out really well. So I had the mark on the back, so I knew where I needed to cut at, and then I just went out, cut it, and it turned out perfectly. I just had a couple other pieces of baseboard to get up, and then I got started on this mirror. I made this little template out of cardboard to hold up to get it level, because this mirror had two, like it hangs on the right and the left side, and I wanted to make sure I got their screws level on each other. After I did this, I realized I forgot to account for moving it off the wall to be centered above the vanity. So that's why you see me drill two separate holes there. Things don't always go as planned, but I was able to resolve it, and it came out looking good. Once that was done, I got started moving the hardware around on the vanity. This vanity came with both black and silver poles, trim pieces, but I went with the black one because
all the trim in this bathroom is trimmed out in black. So this here is just the trim kit for the shower. This was relatively expensive, probably could be up there, besides the Vanity, the most expensive thing in this bathroom was this black trim kit, but I just thought it looked really good and we'll pull it all together. The shower had an O-ring in it, so I didn't need any thread tape. And then to put the tub spout on, it was pretty easy. You just mark the copper, cut the copper down, and then this little slip fitting will go on. But I'll show you the copper because it's really important with copper to clean it and deburr it. So you can see how it's deburred on the end and the whole pipe's clean. So whatever you're putting on there will seat on there and work well. And then that just tightens on, and that makes the whole seal right there. So this was a really easy product to use. Now that that's done, I'm going to get started on the sink, putting the sink drain in. I'm just using Lexil to go around this drain, and then I'll push it straight down while I got that other piece screwing into it. So it's kind of hard to see on camera, but essentially they're just screwing into each other, and then that's cleaned up, and we're on to the next step, which is putting this backsplash on. It's easy as well. I'm just using Lexil, little Lexil on the bottom, little Lexil on the wall. Line it up, press it in, clean up the Lexil, and let it sit.
Okay, I'm going to talk for a minute about how I'm doing this trim piece for back here, because this isn't all 100% even. So what I did, I got this 1x2 and I cut a groove out right in here. And that's going to be important because that groove is going to allow me to put this trim up and remain flat on the wall. That groove that's cut in will sit over top of this. So this is on 2 different heights now. So the thicker part will go back on this wall and be solid, and the part that I cut out will go right over top of this, and it's going to tie all of this together.
Now the only thing left to do here is just line everything up and get it nailed in. In the video, I just had a couple of nails tacking it in, but I went through and nailed it off later and got it all ready to go. So this trim on the door was bad, so instead of just patching that little hole, I figured I might as well just replace it all. So I cut the caulking, pulled the trim off, and it ended up being in a lot worse condition around there than I had anticipated. So once that was all off and cleaned up, I went ahead and just mudded around it to clean everything up. And then down by the sink, it was pretty rough too, where the old Vanity had been. So I mudded around there too. Waited a day, came back, and then sanded it all, got it ready to paint. This was unexpected and a little bit of delay, but I figured might as well do it right. I did put primer on before paint, so I primed it, waited another day, and then came back with this touch-up paint. And it really made it look a lot better, especially under that light switch. It just looked so bad before, so now it's all nice and smooth and looking good. And then once that was done, I started putting this trim around the door. It turned out really well, and this bathroom's almost complete now. Here's a look at the trim around the door. It's a PVC trim. That's what I used for everything in here, plastic, so it's a bathroom, didn't have to worry about anything. I went ahead and got everything caulked in. It's a silicone tub, shower, bathroom specific caulk. It's a little harder to work with than like a regular painter's caulk, but it's the right thing to use. Now I'm going to get started putting this drain in. It went in honestly really easily once I had the right tools to do it. The top piece just screws in, and then the bottom piece, it'll unthread out of there. It was a little bit strange. The instructions said it only needs that rubber gasket to seal it up. So that's what I did. I did put some thread tape on the outer and the inner threads because it kind of has this threaded part that threads in, and then another threaded part goes into it. So I put some thread tape on both of those, and hopefully it's good. I might end up putting some plumber's putty. And then once I got wrapped up with that, I installed the drain on the bathroom sink. This went super quick. There's just a little snapshot of how it turned out.
I want to take a minute to talk about this tool. You guys just saw me use it, putting that drain in. This comes incredibly handy for anything plumbing, especially hooking up water lines under a sink, because these can be tricky to get hooked up, where this, you can just slide it over top and twist it on. It's like $20 and it can do basically anything plumbing. So if you guys don't have one of these, I would highly recommend picking one up. It's incredibly useful. That pretty much wraps up this bathroom remodel. There are a few other things that I'll need to do, but for the most part, it's done. It turned out pretty well. This wasn't a super high-end bathroom remodel, so you got to keep that in mind. We have to make one to the area, but it turned out really nice. I will say the tub looks way better, and then this down here, it was a different color if you look in the other videos, and we used this kit to refinish it. So the kit was this Rust-Oleum tub and tile refinishing kit. It's a two-part. It has an activator and a base, and you mix them together, and then it just paints on like paint. It comes out super smooth, and it looks really good. It's well worth the $30 or so, and it saves you from having to buy a whole new tub. This was a nice tub, good shape, just didn't love the color. What's left to finish now is I need to get a transition piece for here. The one I want was on back order. And then there's a little bit of touch-up paint and stuff, but inside the sink here, which all the hardware is black, but for some reason this is chrome. So I've got a black one of that ordered, and then the rest of it's pretty much just touch-up. The bathroom's fully functional as is, can use it, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Once I get everything buttoned up on it, I'm going to have another video, and that video will be a whole cost breakdown of what it costs to transform this bathroom.
To wrap this video up, I just am doing a quick little overview with my other GoPro. This was the GoPro 13 with the ultra wide lens. So it gives a wider view. You can see more in each frame. And I just wanted to go over that to see some stuff that might have got missed in the first one. Overall, this bathroom turned out great. I'm really happy with the way it turned out, especially with the color combo, with the black accents and the wood vanity and the green walls and the white tub. I think it just looks absolutely incredible. Let me know what you guys think, and don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.